When you're tired of losing, when your heart aches from the weight of failure and your soul questions if it's even worth continuing, that's not the end. That's the beginning of something deeper than success, more powerful than winning. That's the birth of a warrior. Loss has a strange way of showing up when we're closest to the edge of greatness. It doesn't just bruise your ego, it tests your essence. Every time you fall short, you're being asked one simple question by life: how bad do you want it? And the way you answer that question determines everything. You see, most people think losing is the end of the road. They think failure is final, but the truth is, losing is just the first stage of growth. You don't learn much when you win. You celebrate, you smile, maybe you feel proud, but you don't grow. Growth comes when you're face down in the dirt, with nothing left but the decision to get back up. It's in those moments, when no one's watching, when no one believes in you, not even yourself, that you decide what kind of person you are. Are you the type to fold when it gets hard, or do you keep showing up? You're not tired of losing. You're tired of losing without seeing the reward yet. You've been planting seeds, watering them, putting in the hours, and waiting for something to bloom. But the harvest doesn't come right away. No one gets to skip the struggle. Not one person who ever achieved something worthwhile got there without first losing, many times. Think about every legendary story you've heard. They all begin in defeat. The greats, whether in sports, business, art, or life, they were once broken, doubted, rejected. But they didn't stay there. Because those losses, those hard lessons, taught them something winning never could. They taught them discipline, humility, grit. They learned where they were weak and they worked. They failed and they studied the failure. They fell and they asked themselves why. They used the loss as fuel, not an excuse. But you can't use your loss as fuel if you keep looking at it like a curse. You have to start seeing your pain as part of the plan. There's a reason you're in this moment. It's not punishment, it's preparation. You are being shaped into someone who can handle more, someone who's earned the success that's coming. The universe doesn't give diamonds to people who haven't been through the pressure. Gold doesn't shine until it's been refined by fire. And greatness doesn't emerge until it's been broken, tested, and rebuilt stronger. You might feel like you've lost everything. You might feel like there's nothing left in you to give. But if you're still breathing, if your heart is still beating, if there's even a flicker of belief somewhere deep inside you, then it's not over. In fact, this could be the exact moment your real story begins. Because when you've been through loss after loss, you gain something most people never will. You gain resilience, you build a mental toughness that can't be taught, only earned. You stop fearing failure because you've lived through it. You know it can't kill you. It might knock the wind out of you, but it can't keep you down if you don't let it. That's what separates those who succeed from those who quit. Not talent, not luck. It's the refusal to stay down. It's the stubborn belief that no matter how many times you've been beaten, no matter how many doors have slammed in your face, you're going to keep showing up. You're going to keep trying, and eventually life will run out of ways to stop you. You have to understand something crucial. There's a difference between being tired and being done. You're tired because you've been giving it everything. That's a good sign. That means you're in the arena. That means you've got skin in the game. People who never lose are usually the ones who never tried. But being tired doesn't mean it's time to quit. It means it's time to rest, reset, and then come back harder. Take this moment, this exhaustion, this frustration, this pain, and use it. Let it wake something up inside of you. Let it ignite that hidden fire that says, "I'm not done yet." Let it remind you why you started. Think back to that first spark. The reason you took this path in the first place. That reason still matters. That dream still matters. And it's still possible, no matter how many times you've failed along the way. You're not here by accident. You were built for this. You have survived things most people wouldn't understand. And you're still standing. That means there's something in you, something unbreakable, something powerful. Maybe it's been buried beneath the losses. Maybe it's been silenced by doubt, but it's there, and now is the time to bring it back. Remember, every champion was once a contender who refused to quit. Every success story started with a pile of failures. What made them different is that they saw those failures not as a sign to stop, but as a call to rise. They got tired, but they didn't give up. They hurt, but they didn't let it stop them. That's what you're being called to do right now. Rise not because it's easy, not because you feel strong, but because this moment, this pain, is your turning point. This is where you decide, I'm done losing without learning. I'm done hurting without growing. I'm done doubting myself. From now on, every loss becomes a lesson. Every failure becomes a foundation, and every time you get knocked down, you rise faster, stronger, and more determined. You don't need everything to be perfect. You don't need the applause or the validation. All you need is that decision to keep going. One more step, one more push, one more fight. And eventually, whether it's a week from now or a year, those losses will turn into wins. Not because life suddenly got easy, but because you got unbreakable. And that moment where you refuse to stay down is when your story truly begins. There comes a moment in every person's life when the weight of disappointment turns into something else, something deeper, something louder than tears. It turns into fire, that moment when you're no longer just tired of losing, but you're absolutely done with living a life that doesn't reflect who you really are. It's when being average, invisible, or forgotten starts to feel more painful than any loss. That's when mediocrity becomes your enemy. And when you get mad at mediocrity, not just frustrated, but truly sick of it, that's when everything begins to shift. Because mediocrity is a thief that robs you slowly. It doesn't come crashing in, it seeps in day by day. It tells you to relax, to settle, to be okay with just enough. It whispers lies like, you've already tried, or it's too late now, or you're not good enough anyway. And the more you listen, the more you shrink. You become smaller than your dreams. You start walking through life like a ghost of your own potential. That's the slow death most people accept. But not you, not anymore. You see, there's a fire inside every human being, but most never let it burn. They keep it tamed, controlled, hidden. They go to jobs they hate, stay in relationships that drain them, and make excuses for not chasing what they want because that's what everyone else does. And for a while, maybe you did too. Maybe you tried to fit in. Maybe you tried to play it safe, but now something inside you is screaming, enough. You're not just tired of losing. You're tired of watching life pass you by. You're tired of waking up with regret. You're tired of knowing you could do more, be more, give more, if only you had the courage to unleash everything inside of you. And now it's time, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. This isn't about motivation, this is about a decision. The decision to fight, to rise, to break through every wall that mediocrity built around your potential. And the only way to do that is through relentless action. Not inspiration, not wishing, action, because nothing changes until you do. You can read every book, listen to every speech, write down every goal, but if you don't act like your life depends on it, nothing will happen. And deep down, you know that. Relentless action means showing up when you don't feel like it. It means pushing when your body is tired and your mind is screaming to stop. It means sacrificing comfort, sleep, distractions, and sometimes even relationships that hold you back. It's not glamorous, it's not fun, but it's the only path that leads to greatness. You have to stop negotiating with your weakness. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, every time you say, I deserve a break, every time you choose easy over necessary, you give mediocrity a seat at your table. And mediocrity never leaves willingly. You have to force it out. You have to evict it with daily, disciplined, determined effort. Don't wait for motivation. Motivation is a feeling, action is a decision, and your dreams don't care how you feel. They only respond to what you do. Winners don't always feel like grinding. Champions don't always feel strong. But they show up anyway. They don't rely on mood, they rely on mission. And their mission is simple: never settle. You have to adopt that same mindset. Every time you think about quitting, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of all the pain you've already been through. That pain wasn't for nothing. Don't waste it. Don't let it be in vain. Let it become your fuel. Let it drive you so hard that people around you start asking, what happened to them? Let them wonder. Let them watch, because they didn't see the nights you cried. They didn't see the times you broke down. They didn't see the inner war you fought just to get out of bed. But you know, and that's enough. You're not doing this for applause. You're doing this to take your power back, to prove to yourself that you were always capable. You just hadn't reached the breaking point yet. But now you have. Now you've decided. No more excuses, no more half-hearted attempts. From this moment on, you go all in. And yes, it will be hard. You will be tested. You'll face rejection, setbacks, doubt. But those aren't signs to stop. They are signs that you're on the right path. The universe doesn't challenge the lazy, it challenges the chosen. And you were chosen for something greater. That's why it hurts so much to play small. That's why your heart aches every time you think about quitting. Because deep inside you know that the life you're living isn't the one you're meant for, so channel that anger. Channel that frustration, let it become your power, let it fuel your focus. Don't just get mad, get obsessed. Obsession isn't bad when it's aimed at becoming the best version of yourself. Obsession with growth. Obsession with progress. Obsession with proving your pain had a purpose. That's how you win, not by avoiding pain, but by becoming stronger than it. You can't control every loss. You can't control what life throws at you. But you can control how you respond. You can control whether you stay down or get back up. You can control whether you keep blaming the world, or whether you finally take ownership of your future. Because it's your life, no one's coming to save you, no one's going to hand you the dream, you have to earn it. And that starts with a decision backed by relentless action. So wake up. Wake up the beast inside you. Wake up the fighter that's been buried under fear. Get angry at mediocrity. Get disgusted with being average. Let your pain push you. Let your hunger drive you. This is your time. This is your war. And the only way to win is to rise, fight, and never look back. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need more motivation. You just need to decide. Decide that enough is enough. Decide that you're done playing small. Decide that you will not go one more day living a life that doesn't reflect the fire inside of you. Get up, get moving, and never stop. Because when you trade mediocrity for relentless action, that's when everything changes. That's when you stop being tired of losing and start becoming the person who simply refuses to lose again. Sometimes it's not the pain of losing that breaks you. It's the loneliness that comes with it. It's not just the setbacks, the failures, or the missed opportunities that make you feel hollow inside. It's the silent moments afterward when no one calls, no one checks in, no one seems to care that you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. That's the part no one talks about. People see the loss, but they don't see how alone you feel in it. They don't see how much it hurts to fight a war that no one else even knows you're in. You're not just tired of the fight. You're tired of feeling like you're the only one fighting. Like you're the only one who believes in your dream. Like you're the only one who sees the vision. You reach out for support, but all you hear is silence. And that silence, it can be deafening. It can make you question everything you're worth, your strength, your direction. It can make you wonder if any of it is even worth it. But here's the truth, that loneliness, that solitude, it's not a sign that you're on the wrong path. In fact, it's often a sign that you're doing something most people don't have the courage to do. You're walking a road few are willing to travel. You're choosing growth over comfort, vision over conformity, and when you do that, it can feel like you're all alone. But being alone doesn't mean you're lost. It means you're leading. Sometimes, the people you thought would support you won't. Not because they're bad people, but because they don't understand your path. They haven't seen what you've seen. They haven't felt the calling you've felt. And you can't expect people to fight for a dream they were never meant to carry. That dream was placed in your heart for a reason. Because you are the one strong enough to bring it to life. And yes, there will be days when that truth feels like cold comfort. Days when you wish someone would just believe in you, encourage you, stand beside you. But the most powerful thing you can do in those moments is learn how to stand with yourself. Because the greatest strength isn't having people cheer for you, it's being able to cheer for yourself when no one else does. It's looking in the mirror and saying, "I've got you," even when the world turns its back. You don't need a crowd to be powerful. You don't need applause to be valuable. Your worth isn't determined by how many people support you. It's defined by how deeply you believe in yourself when there's no support at all. When you build that kind of belief, you become unstoppable, because no rejection, no criticism, no loss can shake someone who has already learned how to stand alone. And maybe right now, that's where you are learning how to stand alone, learning how to wipe your own tears, learning how to hold your own hand through the storm. It's not easy, it's not glamorous, but it's necessary. Because the people who rise to greatness aren't the ones who had the most help, they're the ones who kept going when help never came. They're the ones who refused to quit just because no one else believed in them. But let's be clear, being alone doesn't mean you always have to be lonely. You may feel like no one understands you, but there are people out there fighting silent battles just like you. People who cry behind closed doors, people who wake up every day feeling broken but keep showing up anyway. You're not as alone as you think, but you have to open yourself up to that truth. You have to be willing to speak your pain, to share your story, to connect in the rawness of your struggle. Because that's where true connection begins, not in pretending everything's fine, but in admitting that it's not. In saying, "I'm tired, I'm hurting, I'm trying." Those simple words can open doors to support you never knew existed. But even if those doors never open, even if you walk alone for a while longer, know this: every step you take in solitude is building a strength that people in comfort will never know. And when you finally reach your victory, when you finally break through, that strength will speak for itself. People will see the result, but they won't understand the loneliness you walked through to get there. And that's okay, because your journey isn't for them to understand, it's for you to live, it's for you to own. And every lonely mile you walk now will be the proof of your power later, so don't let the silence convince you to give up. Don't let the lack of support become a reason to stop. Let it become a reason to rise. Let it become a reason to go even harder. Prove to yourself, not to the world, that you are enough, that you can build, create, and conquer even when no one claps, no one watches, no one believes. There will come a day when the people who once doubted you will ask how you did it, and you'll smile not out of arrogance, but because you'll know the truth: you did it alone first. You built the mindset, you fought the battles, you survived the nights of crying yourself to sleep. You faced the doubt, the fear, the exhaustion, and you didn't quit. You became your own support system. You became your own hero, and that's the kind of power that can never be taken away from you. So if you feel alone right now, let that be your advantage. Let that solitude sharpen you, let it focus you. Let it strip away every distraction and force you to look inward, to find your why, your fire, your unshakable will to rise. Because when you learn how to fight alone, you become someone no one can break. The world may not see you yet, but that doesn't matter. You're not doing this to be seen. You're doing this to be strong, and strength, real strength, is forged in the dark, not in the spotlight. So rise even when it's hard, stand tall even when you're the only one standing, and speak to yourself like someone who's worth fighting for, because you are. The fact that you're still here, still breathing, still trying, even after all the losses, means there's still something inside you that refuses to be defeated. Hold on to that, feed it, trust it, because that voice, that inner power, will carry you through the silence and into your success. There is a moment in every journey when you look in the mirror and realize something has to change. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. That moment where the frustration boils over and your soul can no longer tolerate the gap between who you are and who you were meant to be, is the turning point. It's the place where everything begins to shift if you let it. It's the moment you stop rehearsing the same sad story, the same excuses, the same patterns of defeat, and you decide to turn the page. Because the next chapter, the comeback chapter, is waiting to be written by the version of you that refuses to let losing be the final word. You're not stuck. You're just standing still at the crossroads between surrender and fight. And whether you realize it or not, life has been whispering to you, this is not how your story ends. All the setbacks, the failures, the disappointments, they weren't dead ends, they were redirections. They were building chapters that taught you who you're not, so you can finally become who you are, but you have to choose to turn the page. Because no one else can do it for you, not your family, not your friends, not your mentors, this is your decision. To stop reliving the same day, over and over, hoping something will magically be different. To stop hoping and start moving. To stop wishing and start working. The difference between people who stay stuck and those who rise isn't talent or luck. It's the courage to decide, I will not stay here. Turning the page doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It means using it. It means taking the pain, the failures, the heartbreaks, and forging them into power. It means making this the chapter where you fight back, where you rewrite the narrative, where you go from victim to victor. From doubter to doer, from tired to tenacious, every great story has a turning point. A moment when the hero has lost everything, but something inside refuses to quit. That refusal, that inner fire, that's what separates winners from watchers. That's what transforms breakdowns into breakthroughs. Not a perfect plan, not a miracle, just a decision. I'm not done yet. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the next step. The next move forward, the next breath with purpose, because action creates clarity. The more you move, the more life begins to move with you. The universe rewards motion. It responds to energy, but it cannot reward what you don't act on. It can't guide you if you won't get up and walk. You may have lost before. You may have been broken, but that doesn't mean your best days are behind you. That means your real story hasn't even started yet. It's because they go through a storm before they understand that rise. The messier the beginning, the more powerful the transformation. And maybe your life has been messy. Maybe you've made mistakes, missed chances, or let yourself down more times than you can count. But none of that disqualifies you, it prepares you. Your wounds are not a weakness. They are proof that you've survived, that you've endured, that you kept showing up even when it hurt, and now it's time to stop surviving and start living. Now, it's time to move from the waiting room of life into the arena of action. You've waited long enough for permission, for validation, for the perfect time. But if you're still waiting, let this be your sign. The time is now. The story is yours, and you hold the pen. Don't waste one more page repeating the past. Don't let another day pass writing the same chapter of pain, regret, or complacency. You are the author of your life, and you can decide right here, right now, that this is the chapter where it all changes. This is the moment where you rise, where you stop chasing shortcuts and start embracing discipline, where you stop asking for a better life and start building one with your own two hands. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to be willing to move through the fear, willing to show up even when it's hard, willing to fight for the life you deserve, even if no one else believes in it but you. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Growth always is. It means shedding your old skin, letting go of habits, thoughts, and people that no longer serve your higher purpose. It means facing the parts of you that played small for too long. But on the other side of that discomfort is your freedom, your power, your potential. You already have everything you need inside of you: the strength, the wisdom, the resilience, the hunger. It's all there. But it's buried under fear, doubt, and the noise of past failures. You don't need more from the world, you need more from yourself, and that starts with one simple, powerful act: turn the page. Leave the past behind, not because it didn't matter, but because your future matters more. You cannot carry your old story into a new life. You have to let go, and when you do, when you choose to break free from your patterns, your pain, your procrastination, that's when life opens up. This chapter is yours to create. No more waiting for someone to give you permission. No more looking around hoping someone else will lead. It's you. You are the leader. You are the warrior. You are the author. And every day you wake up, you have two choices: repeat or rise. Repeat the pain, the patterns, the past, or rise into your power, your purpose, your potential. One keeps you trapped, the other sets you free. So choose freedom. Choose the harder road that leads to greater rewards. Choose the risk that leads to real change. Choose the discipline that leads to self-respect. Choose the vision that demands everything from you, because you are capable of giving everything. Let this be the chapter where the world meets the real you, the you who doesn't settle, the you who fights back, the you who was tired of losing but not willing to quit, the you who writes a comeback so powerful people ask how you survived, and you'll look them in the eyes and say, "Because I finally decided to turn the page."